The fleet laughed at the rusted human ship, until its guns fired. Once Admiral Zixthera's mandibles clicked in amusement as she observed the human vessel through the viewport of her flagship. The Sovereign's Pride, a kilometer-long dreadnought, bristling with plasma cannons and particle beam arrays, cast its shadow over the assembled Galactic Federation fleet. Beside her, Captain Veltorin of the crystalline Nexari and Commander Thresh of the insectoid Kethmore shared her mirth. "That's what Earth sent?" Veltorin's voice chimed like breaking glass. "A single ship?" The human vessel hung motionless in space, a stark contrast to the sleek, bioorganic curves of the Federation ships, where their hulls gleamed with living metal and pulsed with bioluminescent energy conduits. The human ship appeared to be nothing more than gray steel plating, oxidized and weathered. Rust streaks ran down its flanks like tears. Its design was blocky, utilitarian, primitive by galactic standards. UESS Defiance, Admiral Zixthera read from her tactical display. Displacement 800 meters, crew complement 2847, classification. She paused, her secondary eyes narrowing. Unknown. Unknown? Commander Thresh's chitinous head tilted. How can a ship classification be unknown? Perhaps they're as primitive at record-keeping as they are at shipbuilding, Veltorin suggested, his crystalline form refracting the bridge's light into prismatic patterns. The comm system crackled to life. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Yahweh, United Earth Starship Defiance. We're here to discuss Earth's admission to the Galactic Federation." Zixthera activated her response channel. "Captain Chen, I am Admiral Zixthera of the Hegemony. Before any species can join the Federation, they must demonstrate their military capabilities. Your vessel will be evaluated against our standards." "Understood. Admiral, we're ready to proceed." The Admiral's laugh was a series of sharp clicks. Around the bridge, her crew joined in. Through the fleet communications, similar sounds of amusement echoed from the other ships. Crystalline chimes from the Nexari vessels, buzzing from the Kethmore swarm ships, and various other expressions of mirth from the dozen species represented in the evaluation fleet. "Very well, Captain. You will face 3 trials. First, maneuverability against our interceptor squadrons. Second, defensive capabilities against simulated weapons fire. Third, offensive power demonstration." "Copy that, Admiral." Zixthera turned to her tactical officer. "Deploy Squadron 7. Use standard harassment patterns, nothing that might actually damage their antique." The first wave of interceptors launched, sleek, dart-like vessels that moved like schools of fish through space. They swarmed around the human ship, their pilots expecting easy target practice against the lumbering hulk. What happened next? Silenced. The laughter. The Defiance moved, not with the smooth, organic flow of Federation bioships, but with sudden, violent thrust that spoke of raw mechanical power. The human vessel didn't dance. It struck. Point defense systems that had been invisible against the ship's weathered hull suddenly came alive, spitting streams of projectiles that moved faster than anything the Federation had ever recorded. "What are those velocities?" Thresh demanded, his compound eyes reflecting the tactical display. "Impossible readings," the sensor operator replied. "The projectiles are moving at significant fractions of light speed. That's kinetic energy equivalent to 27 interceptors down," another officer reported, voice tight with disbelief. "Squadron 7 is requesting immediate withdrawal." "Granted," Zixthera said quietly. The easy confidence had drained from her voice. For the second trial, the Federation ships opened fire with training charges, low-power energy beams designed to test shielding. The beams struck the human ship's hull and disappeared, not absorbed by shields, not deflected by energy barriers. They simply ceased to exist upon contact with that dull, rusted metal. "Sensor analysis?" Zixthera demanded. "Unknown energy absorption properties. The hull appears to be some form of reactive armor we've never encountered. It's converting the incoming energy into..." The officer's voice trailed off. "Admiral, the ship's internal temperature is actually decreasing. It's somehow using our attacks to cool itself. By now, the fleet's communications were silent. No more laughter, no more jokes about primitive humans. The Defiance hung in space like a sleeping predator, its true nature finally beginning to show. Final trial, Zixthera announced, though her confidence was gone. Offensive capabilities. Target the asteroid designated Alpha 7. Captain Chen's voice came through clearly. Admiral, I should mention, our weapons weren't designed for asteroid mining. Proceed, Captain. The human ship oriented itself toward the target, a solid iron-nickel asteroid roughly 3 kilometers in diameter. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, without fanfare or visible energy discharge, a section of the Defiance's hull simply opened. What emerged wasn't an energy beam or plasma bolt. It was a projectile, a simple, unadorned piece of metal roughly the size of a Federation shuttle. It moved without visible propulsion, accelerating steadily until sensor readings became meaningless. When it struck the asteroid, there was no explosion, no dramatic flash of light or expanding sphere of debris. The asteroid was simply gone. In its place was a rapidly expanding cloud of component atoms, glowing white-hot from the sheer kinetic energy transfer. The fleet communications exploded with panicked chatter in a dozen languages. Ships began backing away from the human vessel as if it were radioactive. How? Veltorin whispered. Captain Chen's voice cut through the chaos, calm and professional. Magnetic acceleration system. We call them MAC guns, magnetic accelerator. Cannons. That was our smallest caliber at roughly 60% charge. Smallest? Thresh's voice was barely audible. We have 3 more guns on the Defiance. The main battery fires projectiles about the size of your flagship, Admiral. Zixthera stared at the human ship with new eyes. The rust, the weathered appearance. It wasn't neglect, it was experience. This ship had seen combat. Real combat, the kind that the Federation hadn't faced in centuries of peace. Captain Chen, she said slowly, Earth's application to the Federation is approved. Immediately. We would like to discuss mutual defense treaties. Of course, Admiral. Though I should mention, the Defiance is one of our older ships. We brought her because she's considered obsolete by current Earth standards. The silence that followed was deafening. In the depths of space, the rusted human ship held position among the gleaming Federation fleet, no longer an object of amusement, but of newfound respect and considerable fear. Humanity had just announced its presence to the galaxy, and the galaxy was listening.